It's a new week. Welcome to Carbtastic Meals with Cha-Cha. And I promised you guys that I was going to give you the 3-ingredient basil marinara sauce. This is from one of the first cookbooks ever written, from the 1800s. It was found. It's 3 ingredients, but I doctor it. But we'll follow the 3 ingredients, and I'm promising you, if you make this sauce, no matter who you give it to, it's delicious. My family loves it, and they go crazy for it. So the ingredients are a little weird, and it's really 3, but then we're gonna doctor it. So what we're gonna start with, believe it or not, is a stick of unsalted butter. We're gonna take, not a stick, we're gonna take 5 tablespoons of the butter, and we're gonna add it to the pot. I'm gonna throw that right in. And we'll begin to have it melt. Okay, next off is onion. 1 whole onion. You can use a yellow onion, you can use a Vidalia onion, a sweet onion, it doesn't matter. Take 1 onion. This one is, I used it in one of the sauces before, and I like to use it again if it's still good. And it takes on the taste. I just use 1/2 and 1/2. And I put that in. Now, you're gonna see if you come over, the butter's melting. You got the butter melting here. You don't wanna burn your butter. You just wanna melt your butter nicely. Mix in your onion, and like so. So, take a few seconds. What also I want to tell you is the ingredients is can of tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes. You could use whole tomatoes and crush them yourself or put them in a processor. I use crush, it's faster, it's easier. I also look for, when I'm doing carb free, I look for the can with the least amount of carbs. And they're out there. This can right here is 3 carbs for 1/2 cup. So like I said in my previous videos, you're not eating a whole cup of sauce. It's just basically sauce in your piece. It's very minimal. So anyway, the butter's starting to melt, the onions are gonna get in there, and it's all gonna saute together. Very simple. So it's butter. It's onions of your choice. I prefer Vidalia because it gives a sweet taste, and I like a sweet sauce. It's a can of tomatoes, and it's cracked pepper. Okay? The 3 main ingredients is butter, tomato sauce, onion. But we can make it better. So what I use and what I do is I love fresh herbs when I cook. So this is basil, fresh basil. And what we're gonna do is we'll cut off a couple of pieces of the basil. I use like 5 or 6, 7. And now basil, I don't know if you know this, but if you chop basil up, the oils come out more. It's better to just tear once and then throw it in, okay? So what we're gonna do now is the butter's starting to come closer so I can show. This is how you want it. When it starts to bubble like this, just stir this around, okay? Lower the heat to medium, okay? And then what I do is I take my basil and I tear. I take my basil and I tear. Lower my heat a little, it's a little too high. Okay, and what happens is the oils from the basil come out into the butter. All right, so once that's in there, I'm stirring this around. Okay, I lower the heat down to simmer, like 3 simmer, and then I take my sauce and I pour in my sauce. Right away, you wanna come in here, okay? What you wanna do real quick is mix the sauce with the butter and the basil. Look how pretty that looks, okay? And it gives it a velvety texture. Keep mixing it around, keeping it hot, keeping it bubbly. Okay. Mixing it around. What's gonna happen is you can cook this for about an hour. That's the minimum time I would cook this. I usually, on a Sunday, I'll make a big giant pot of this. And if you're gonna make a double can, then you use 2 onions and then you use 10 tablespoons of the butter. You keep going as you go. But if it's a single sauce, I do this. And what I do is I take my can and I fill it halfway with water. And I keep it by the pot. Okay, for one, that's where I put my spoon. Okay, and as it's cooking, it might get a little thick, depending on your liking. You add just a little bit of a water at a time, and it'll thin it out. I like a little thicker of a sauce, but when you're cooking all day, if you're gonna cook this 3 hours, 4 hours, you're gonna wanna use the water and you're gonna wanna keep it on like a simmer, and you're gonna wanna keep checking to see because you don't want it to burn. Okay, so that's done. So now what we do is, that's it. Basically, that's the sauce. You let it cook and you eat in an hour. But here's my touch on the sauce. So I threw in the basil, that's one. Okay, I take fresh pepper and I go to town. Okay, as the sauce is cooking, okay, I already went ahead and I peeled the eggplant. I don't leave the skin on my eggplant. It tends to make the eggplant bitter. I don't like the taste. And some people leave it on there and some people don't. My family is always peel the eggplant, so that's what I do. Very simple. You come here and you're gonna make little circles, cuts, okay? Nice little cuts. Okay, so here we are, we have it cut up and you can see the size of the pieces. Okay, it's a nice small eggplant. All right, so here's the trick. Here we have our breadcrumb substitute. And I made it from, believe it or not, pork cracklings. You can buy this in any store. You wanna get the regular, no flavored, just regular cracklings. I put them in my processor and it comes out like a powder. It comes out like a breadcrumb, okay? So you could also buy this if you don't want to take that time to do it. It's no big deal. It's a lot cheaper to do it this way, or you can go on Amazon and you can buy a bag. I'll post a picture of the brand that I used, but it's more expensive that way. But what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna bread a few of these. Okay, so now it's time to dip and bread. So what I do is I just take it and I dip it in here, okay? And I put it in and I do a little cover. Just like breadcrumbs. And I give it a little shake, and then I put it here. And I do another one, dip. I put it in, a little cover. Cover, give it a little shake, and I put it here. And so on and so forth. You get the gist. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go and finish these up, and I'll put them on the plate. And then what we do then, we're gonna put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes. This way it firms up and everything will stick better when you fry. When we're done with that, I'll pull it out of the freezer. We'll go to the fryer, we'll fry them up, and I'll show you how to fry it. And while I'm doing that, and I'm done with this, I'll stir my sauce a little, and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been in the freezer for a half hour, and we're gonna take it out. And you can see how they look. So it's not totally frozen, but they stick better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fry a bunch and show you how it looks just frying them. And then, so you don't have to sit here and watch me fry forever. I'm gonna make it quicker. I'm gonna fry them up, and then I'm gonna put them on here with a paper towel, and it takes this paper towel is good, it drains the excess oil. And then we'll go over to the ugly red pan, and we're gonna set it up, build it, bake it, and complete it. So come back. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys. You know, I say I collect t-shirts. This is one of my favorite ones. Ready? Ready? Watch this. I like that. Cat people. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so we fried them up. This is what they look like. Fried up. Beautiful. Nice and golden brown. The key to this is to freeze the eggplant with the breading on it. Sticks. And it makes it so much better when you're frying because then all your breading doesn't come off. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna assemble this. It's almost just like the lasagna. It's very simple. I had a couple of people who saw the picture I posted of the preview of this recipe, and they said, that's not the ugly pan. The ugly pan is here. We're gonna use the ugly pan. So I don't wanna disappoint anybody. So first thing we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna sauce the bottom of the pan again. And why do we do this? So it doesn't stick to the bottom. So we coat the bottom and we start to layer. So what I like to do is I like to take the biggest pieces first and just layer, and then take like a little piece to fill. You're probably gonna get 3 layers out of this. I'm thinking 4 layers. Maybe 2 layers, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay, so then all I do now is I sauce again. And I just put a little sauce. You don't want to drown it in sauce because then it'll lose its crunch. Just a little dab of sauce. Just give it a little smear. Okay. Then I take my fine grated Lugatelli and I give it a little Lugatelli cheese. Give it 1 handful of mozzarella. You can see how it looks just by looking how good it is. Oh my God. Then I take a little, like I said, I usually have fresh parsley and you know, this craziness. I haven't been able to get any, so we're gonna use dried parsley, just a little shot of that. And then we're gonna take a little pepper, give it a little, okay? And then we start again. Another layer. 1, 2, I think we're gonna add and like I said, we use this pan because this is what I call my four serving pan. Okay? And that was a generally small eggplant I used. So here we go. We're gonna take the sauce, get the corners, fill it in. You're gonna want to have some leftover sauce. So you could, when you go ahead and you serve this, if people want sauce, they could have sauce. And the sauce cooked for an hour, and we froze it for a ½ hour. So to make this from start to finish, from cutting to breading to freezing to making the sauce, you're looking at about 2 hours. Something that you want to do on a weekend. But like I said, this is also another meal that you can make today and eat Friday or Thursday, as long as it's in the fridge, or freeze it, cut it in 4s, and you have meals for the week, lunch, whatever. Very simple, and it goes a long way. And it is very simple to make. You just watched how easy it was and how delicious it is. And we haven't discussed it, but we got to discuss it. The sauce, hardly no carbs in the sauce. Cheese, no carbs. The breading, we use the chicharrones. There's no carbs. It's carb free. The eggplant, I think it only has like maybe 1 or 2 carbs per cup. You're not using a lot of. This one serving is probably about 225, 230 calories, probably less than 5 grams of carbs. So that's it. We're just gonna hit it with a little pepper again. I'm gonna take a little more parsley. Just give it a little whoop. And let's go throw it in the oven. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it. Half hour covered, 350 degrees. And then we'll take the cover off for 15 minutes and bake it at 350 degrees. Put it right in the oven. And that's it. We'll be back to show you the finished product in about 30 minutes. Okay, here's the finished product. Eggplant Parmesan. Low carb, delicious. Tell me, what do you think? Please comment on this and let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you want me to make for you and show you that I can make it in a carb-free way, low carb. Please follow me on YouTube at Carbtastic Meals with Cha-Cha. Please like the channel. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it. There's no video tomorrow. Tomorrow's my 54th birthday. Yes, 54. I'm gonna be celebrating. Maybe I'll take a video of what I cook because tomorrow's cheat day. I'm coming down to Mimi's. I'm getting some ravioli and maybe some stuffed artichokes. And I'll be back with pork carnita tacos that are amazing. All fresh slaw, fresh carnita, fresh guacamole. You're gonna love it. Please join me for my next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay at a distance. Wash the hands. Peace out.